Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just sort of gently introduce everybody whilst we're still waiting for a few to come. So we've got a large team of people here to support this webinar tonight. So we thought we'll just have an introduction. We've got Emma. So Emma is Pony Club Office. So she looks after me and helps everybody to give information on anything to do with horse and pony care. So she is the person you email. So we've then got Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is technology. So she is on not on the centre committee, wrong subject, horsemanship committee, and she looks after our technology on the night. We then go on to our youth representatives tonight. So we've got Abby, who is leader. She is the horsemanship youth representative. And then she has a team of helpers, and all of the team, including Abby, are members of the Pony Club. So we have Ellie May, who is from the Atherstone. We've got Meg, who is from the South Notts, and Lily, who's from the Berkeley. Is that how you say it, Lily? And all these girls have got their AH test, which is the highest test of the Pony Club. And our guest for tonight is Kerry, and Kerry is from the Blue Cross, and the Blue Cross is our amazing sponsor. So I will introduce Kerry in a little bit. So I think we will carry on. So this webinar is on the horse and pony care and the road to the championships. So what you are going to expect, when is the championships, and lots of advice from our group on the championships and how to train. So this webinar is going to be linking towards the junior and senior levels. So we have the competition is running Thursday to Saturday. So the juniors are on the Friday, the 21st, and the seniors are on the Saturday. It's going to be at Off Church. So the Pony Club Championships is again back at Off Church. We are also running for the first time this year a Horsemanship Home International, which is going to be for our very oldest members who have been selected to represent England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And this is going to be on Wednesday, the 19th. And we also have an international versus UK horsemanship challenge, which is China against the UK, which is also going to be going on the Wednesday. So that's what we're here for, and we're very excited. So first of all, we're going to hand over to Kerry from the Blue Cross, who is going to talk about the Blue Cross and a little bit about training. So here we go, Kerry.
Thanks very much, Amelia. So I'm really pleased to be here. And just to say that we have been sponsoring the horse and pony care competition now for, I believe it's about 19 years. So we absolutely love how hard everyone works on this competition. And it's so great to see you all at the championships and look at all the effort and the energy that you put into learning about horse welfare and care as well. So good luck, everyone. But what I'll do tonight is I'll just talk through a little bit about Blue Cross and give you an idea of the kind of animals that we help. So at Blue Cross, we help any kind of animals from horses to hamsters, actually. So quite a big range of different animals. And we've got 2 horse sites. So we've got one which is in Burford, Oxfordshire, and then we've got one which is in Ralston in Staffordshire. Now, at the minute, we are really trying to help owners that really need our help. So it might be that they're struggling to rehome their horse, that they can't care for them anymore. And we try and step in there and make sure that the horse has all of its needs met because that owner's struggling. So we're seeing lots and lots of different things, from overweight ponies to behavioural problems. So lots of issues where owners are struggling because they can't actually ride or train or even handle their horses anymore. There's a big cost of living crisis. So actually people are struggling to afford to care for their horse, and that's really impacted the veterinary care that they're providing their horse. So we're seeing a lot of horses that maybe not have had that preventative care, such as vaccinations or their teeth doing. So we're seeing a lot of that come in. So we've been going a long time now. So this is 1897, and we're seeing lots of different issues. But it's great that we're there to try and help horses and find them new homes. So you may know a little bit about our rehoming. So we take in those horses and then we actually transfer ownership now. So previously we used to loan our horses out, and we do for some horses, but we ultimately look to transfer ownership so that horse becomes your own. And the main reason we do that is because actually it means we can help more horses. So when we got to the point of, we're rehoming 500 horses across Blue Cross, we were running the risk of any of those horses coming back at any point. So actually, if they're in a good home and we know you're looking after them and loving them, it's much better to transfer ownership. So we're not a sanctuary. We don't have horses that come to us and stay with us. Our biggest aim is to try and get them to find a nice new home. We also have veterinary services at Blue Cross. So these aren't horses actually. So we only do small animals. So your dogs, your cats, your guinea pigs and rabbits, for example. And we've got 3 hospitals in London, and we've also got one up north in Grimsby. And then we do a lot of preventative work. So that I'm part of the education team. So look at how we can keep pets in homes and make sure that people are learning to understand their pet better. And we also have expert behaviourists as well. So they're there to make sure that the pets in our care have the understanding and the training that they need. And then when they go to their new home, we can make sure that we provide that support and advice as well. So last year, we helped around 25,000 pets through our veterinary services, and then we helped rehome just over 8,000. So we're a very busy charity. If you could pass on to the next slide, please, that'd be great. So just to get in a little bit of practice for you, at Blue Cross, we really focus on the 5 domains. So every horse that comes into our care, or if we're given advice, education, we look at the different elements of the 5 domains and make sure that the horses are really living a fantastic life. So a life worth living. That's really important for us. So if you can just pop in the chat box, do you know much about the 5 domains? Can you tell me any of the different elements that we'd be looking at when we're thinking about making sure a horse is happy and healthy? So I can see some typing. Excellent. So we've got freedom from hunger and thirst. Well done. And actually, these did used to be called the 5 freedoms, but things developed over time to make sure that we weren't just having horses free from pain and disease, for example, but also that they were experiencing positive things. And also we were making sure that they live a really good life. Got fresh water, so we had nutrition, friends, fantastic. Love that about the ability to perform natural behaviours. Well done, Isla Sinclair, you've smashed that. Perfect. So nutrients, environment, health, behaviour. And the real key there is the addition is that mental state. So that's about how the horse is feeling. And we all know, don't we, that horses are individuals just like us. So getting to know your horse, getting to know the horses that are around you, you start to really understand what makes that certain horse have positive experiences. Is it a little treat? Is it giving them a scratch on their withers? What things do they enjoy? So that's really important to remember. So when you're revising for your the horse and pony care competition, remember these different elements within the 5 domains, because it's so important that we are the ones that are providing that for our horses. So next slide, please. So just to put this in a bit of a context of Blue Cross, so you can pretend that you're all working for Blue Cross tonight. Okay, we've got a case study of a pony that came into us. So this is a little pony called Jim. Well, he wasn't so little, actually. So Jim came into us very, very overweight. He was just living on very small paddock, not much grazing in the end. He was almost a body condition score 5. So when we prodded him and we felt him, you see all his pads, how big his neck is. So he was really, really overweight. He was living on his own because we had to restrict his grazing so much because he was at such a risk. and he was stood in the corner looking very, very sad. So if we were thinking about those 5 domains and the different elements that we've mentioned, can you think of anything that maybe Jim might have been at risk of? Is there any disease that you think he might be at risk of getting, being so overweight? See someone typing. Excellent. Laminitis, EMS, lots of laminitis. Brilliant. Yeah. Fantastic. He's at real risk, isn't he, of laminitis? You know, when all that lamini, so in his feet, get really, really sore and inflamed. And I always think it's almost like your nail being kind of ripped apart like that. We know how painful that is for us. We do see a lot of laminitis at Blue Cross. It's really hard sometimes, isn't it, to manage our horses and make sure they get that right amount of nutrition that they need. So very good. So we know with Gentleman Jim that he needed to be on a bearer paddock. We needed to make sure that he had the nutrients that he needed, but not so much because he needed to lose weight. Is there anything you can think in his environment that we might have been able to improve to make sure that he had more positive experiences? So I see some more typing. Excellent. Another horse. Toys, so enrichment. Yeah, companionship. We know how important friends are, aren't they, to horses, that they get that interaction with other animals and, you know, be able to give each other a groom, be able to see each other. So well done. This isn't always possible, and we know this, but if there's any access that he could see some horses over the fence, or maybe he could reach and groom them, maybe we could walk him in hand with some of his old friends. So we try and make those experiences as much as possible to make sure that he's really, really well looked after. So well done. And is there anything from a health point of view? How might we have prevented any more kind of health concerns, and who might we have called to check Jim over and just check that he was okay? Vet, yeah, fantastic. Farrier, really good one. Sometimes easy to kind of forget about, but actually when it comes to laminitis, it's great to be able to have a farrier to look at his feet, you know, look at how we might be able to put a bit more padding and support. Fantastic. Dentist, very good. Excellent. We might also talk to a nutritionist who is an expert in their field and might be able to help us look at how we might provide him with all the nutrients and the stimulation that he needs, but maybe make sure that he drops that weight slowly as well. We don't want him dropping it too soon. So very good. Fantastic, everyone. So thank you for all your interactions. I'm going to leave it there, but that just gives you a little idea of some of the horses that we help at Blue Cross.
Thank you, Kerry, and thank you for your support with this competition. It's, you know, such an exciting competition. So I think we're handing over to Abby now.
Yes, so I was going to have a chat about training and preparation. So my biggest thing is that success comes from consistency. You can't just do one-off sessions, you have to keep at it with attending regular sessions, because going to these regular sessions, it'll help consolidate your knowledge. You're working with other team members, and then when you know each other's strengths, it's much easier to at the competition go, right, you do this, I'll do this, and delegate the tasks between each other to play to your strengths, get things done in time. Like one of you might be really, really good at a bandage, and one of you might be really good at identifying shoes, for example. That's where you need to be able to play to each other's strengths and know what they are. You need to also practice under time pressure. Sometimes at championships, it can get quite stressful changing between rounds so quickly. And although it's the same as areas, it does feel a lot quicker. So you need to get used to changing, being confident, and being efficient. You need to use Pony Club resources, or I would strongly recommend you use Pony Club resources. So like your badge syllabuses, your test syllabus. There's also like word searches and TARS is there to help consolidate your knowledge. And we will come back to those later. I think Lily's going to have to have a chat with you about Pony Club resources. When I'm training, I like to group topics together. So ones that link really nicely, I will do them in the same training session. So we're not bouncing between different topics randomly. We are staying on a track. And practice your practical skills regularly, because repetition, repeating doing things, it'll make it so much easier and it'll come like second nature in the competition. I always start with the topics that I'm less sure of as well, so I have more time to consolidate my knowledge, and if it needs improved, I can have a little bit longer to improve. I like to use the learn, practice, test, improve, compete. So you learn it first, then you practice, then you test to see where the loopholes are, or where the weaker parts are, then improve on that, and then you go to championships and try your very best. On the next slide, we've got some ideas that you could use. So the main thing is that training shouldn't be meaningless. It should always be fun and have a purpose. So putting in fun tasks like labeling your diagrams, playing tarja. There's a cool one at the top right there where they've taken imprints from the horse's hoof and then put some shoes to show the difference in a front and a hind leg. Drawing with chalk on the floor to draw systems of the horse, or marking on points of the pony is always fun. And in seniors particularly, I like to watch different horses, watch them move, compare the way they move, compare their conformation, because when you get given a horse you don't know at championships, it's good to be able to be pinpointing what's different to what you normally see, what's good, what's bad, and it's just much better by doing that. I think we go to Amelia for the next slide.
So we're going to introduce Lily now. So Lily is has finished university. This is exciting, isn't it, Lily? You finished university and you've now taken a job on at the Pony Club. So as well as being a Pony Club member, you're now on the Pony Club team as far as working, and you're working in the training department. And part of your role is linking to resources that members can use. So I thought you could just have a little talk about your job, but also of how you can get to these resources.
Yeah, so I've started working for the Pony Club as a training assistant. So my role is to help develop all the resources that all members can access through the resource hub related to all the achievement badges. So accessing the Pony Club resource hub, if you just type into the internet the Pony Club, and you'll go onto the website and you'll be able to find the resource hub on the top right. You'll see the picture on the top left. There's a circle around it that says resource hub. So if you click on there, it will then take you onto like a welcome page for the resource hub, and in the top right you'll see you can then log in. So to log in, you'll need your Pony Club membership number, which if you don't know it, you can at the bottom underneath login here, there is a link to submit your email address, and you'll be able to get your membership number from that. So you need your membership number to log in, and then you type your the branch that you're a member of, and then press login, and you will come to a page that's got lots of different coloured boxes on it. So if you're specifically going to be looking for the activities page, which will be where you'll find horse and pony care questions, you'll press activities, which is like the light purple box, which will then take you to a page full of all the Pony Club sports and disciplines that the Pony Club offers. Click horse and pony care, and then you'll then come to a page that's all to do with horse and pony care. So this is general knowledge about it and information, questions, results, and also rules too. For questions, obviously click the questions box, and then there are lots and lots of questions split into different topics, so based or aimed at minis. Then there's some junior questions, and there's also senior questions as well. And then you click on them, there's then different documents with lots of different questions on there to help with your training. With that, if you want to look at the Blue Cross badges, there's all training resources available for the badges that you can get for the Blue Cross badges, sorry, which you will click the achievement badges box, and then you can then go through there to find the Blue Cross badges if you need them.
Cool, thanks, Lily. That's great. So I think we're going on to Abby now.
Yes, so we spoke about the mini training in the last session, so we're going to focus more on junior and senior, which is the next slide in this one. So junior training, this page looks really, really overwhelming, but if we just break it down, junior questions will be based on the D, D+, C and C+ test syllabuses. Also be based on the horsemanship achievement badges and some of the advanced achievement badges. So that is all of the badges there that could possibly come up from the badge list, because when you go on the Horse and Pony Care website, there is a bit at the bottom that says badges linked to horsemanship, and it says yes, no, yes, no. The way that the coloured boxes are laid out is the way that I would often do the training with my teams. So linking breeds, markings, conformation and points of the horse together. That's how I like to do it. They flow very well together. So I'd suggest this is a good way to look at it, but you don't have to. You can break it down and see where your weaker parts are. You focus on them, make sure you're really confident there. But you'll see that it looks really overwhelming, but when you break it down, there's 13 different sections there. Some will take a bit longer than others, but it's not that overwhelming. We'll pop on to the seniors now. If we change the slide, yeah. So senior training, the questions are based on the care section of C+, B and AH test cards. And questions at AH level will be used sparingly because not all branches and centres have AH level competitors. So I compete in the seniors and I have done for a few years now. And this is the kind of pathway that I'll follow. So I start with the knowledge and facts. So what do I know about the topic? Tell them what I know factually. It's always, we have to think about the safest way to do things, safety of us, safety of the pony, of everyone around us. So adding that in as well to your answer. Having a bit of an experience and opinion on a subject is always good. It shows that you understand it, and as long as you can justify it and you're not doing anything dangerous, I think it's always good to put in an opinion. Always link things to welfare. We really want to work on keeping our social license, making sure we're using learning theory every day that we work with ponies, so always link to welfare. And then another thing I do is best practice versus practicality. So this is what we want to do, but in the real world, sometimes it's not always possible. So this is what we often do. That's always a good thing to think about. They want to kind of apply the knowledge by the time you're in seniors. Doesn't say you can't do that in juniors as well, but seniors, they want you to apply the knowledge. On to the next slide, which I think we go back to Amelia.
So we start to talk about the competition format. So the competition format will run very similar to your area. The difference being that we have a large amount of qualifiers. So we run more than one session a day. So on junior day, we run 4 sessions. And then on the senior day, we run 3 sessions. Each session will have 10 rounds or stations, we call them. And in each round will be a subject. You'll go into the stable and there'll be an assessor there and you will answer questions or have practical activities. In the rounds, there will be horses in some of the stables. And we also have Cyril, who is our sort of plastic horse, who often has things like rugs put on him, bandages put on him. Last year, I think he had wounds on him and he was an injured horse. So you'll do all of the 10 stations. Halfway round, you'll stop and we'll have a break and we have drinks and biscuits. That's where it's really important that you brought your bottle, your drinks bottle, so we save the environment, so we're not using plastic mugs. And the completion of your session will be when you have gone round the 10 rounds. Before you start, you will need to make sure that you have got a bib with the number printed off from the Pony Club results. On that bib, it will tell you your team number, and it will say which stable you or station you'll be starting in first. You will meet for a briefing. So we have like a registration just to say you're here, and then we have a briefing. And then after the briefing, I take you down to the stable yard and you will start the competition. It isn't really a spectator sport because you are in a stable yard, so the parents aren't able to actually watch the competition, not like if it was a show jumping round or something like that. And the sessions, depending on how many teams are starting in your session, may take between an hour and a half, possibly up to 2 hours. So that's kind of the competition format for the day. And then a question that we get asked a lot is about what we would wear. And what I would say that the most important thing is that competitors are tidy and ready to work on a yard, that their items don't need to be matchy-matchy. I think the picture here is a really good example of really nicely turned out members. Things that you need to make sure you've got with you is some gloves. We suggest that you don't have nail varnish or gel nails or things like that. Watches, rings are permitted, but for safety, we prefer you not to wear too much jewellery because you are sort of in a stable yard environment. Gilets and jackets may be worn, so depending on the weather, we pray that we're not wearing gilets and jackets, but we're also praying that we don't have a heat wave like we had last week. So polo shirts, they look great. That's what we think you look best in, with a membership badge with your felt that you've passed the last test. If it's very warm, then we will say definitely wear a polo shirt or a just a normal shirt with your tie. And then jobbers, wearing jobbers or breeches. You must make sure you've got your riding hat that is tagged. If your hat isn't tagged or you've had a new hat, then we will be able to tag your hat there. Hair should be tied up and back, and ideally we prefer a hairnet. Long boots or jobber boots, but you could wear yard boots. So, you know, that's your choice. And if you wear chaps, then they are the same colour as your jobber boots. You're not allowed tassels or fringes on your chaps, and trainers and other footwear is not permitted. So there's a kind of nice example of a picture of people being turned out. Now, awards. This is always really exciting, the awards end of the day. So rosettes this year, we will again be giving team places 1st to 15th. So we changed it to 15 last year because we have so many teams. We give out the most amount of team rosettes, I think. So the top 15 teams will be expected at the prize giving. There'll be individual awards 1st to 3rd. How the individual awards work is that the assessors in each round will nominate someone if they think they've done something sort of individually outstanding in both working as helping the team or knowledge, and then the one with the most votes will win the prizes. We also have prizes that are generously donated by Blue Cross, so a lot of the members at the prize giving will get a prize as well. And we have the Worshipful Company of Saddlers are again generously sponsoring prizes. Both the senior day and the junior day will be experiences. The senior day is a 2-day experience that's picked and by you of how you would like it to fit. So it could be saddle fitting, it could be bridle and work to do with bridles. You could have a leather work so that you create some leather sort of like stirrup leathers or a sort of head collar or something like that. And the juniors are having an experience day, but it's a little bit shorter, sort of more suitable for your level. And we also have rosettes that will be presented to you at the stables that are donated by the Blue Cross. So we also have 2 other new awards this year. So our first new award is going to be a turnout award. This is to maintain our standards of turnout. And if you look at the picture here, there's sort of 2 examples of what would be good turnout and what wouldn't be such good turnout. This is not going to be given to a team that is in matchy items, as in you don't need to all have matching riding hats or matching gloves or the same stocks, or some in stocks and some in ties. It's not a matching competition, but we want you to look tidy. We want your hair to look tidy, your boots to look clean. This award is going to be presented at the stables after each session. So on the junior day, there will be 4 team awards, and on the senior day, there will be 3 team awards. So we will be kind of looking out for turnout as you're competing. So you probably won't particularly notice. There's not going to be attack and turnout, as in it's not going to be stood up and we're going to go through everything like a fine tooth comb. It's much more about sort of how you appear turned out. So that is our first award. And then our next award, we're going to hand over to Meg to explain. So you can take over this one.
Hello. So as a horsemanship youth team, we thought about how much we value training and effort as much as we value actually coming and competing and having a go. So we came up with the idea for a new award this year, which is our Newcomers Award. So this is any branch or centre who come to championships at a level who haven't entered within the previous 5 years. So if you're the first one in your branch to qualify for the first 5 years, amazing, you are eligible for our Newcomers Award. If you are a junior team who for the first time has qualified as a senior team, I do believe you are also eligible for the Newcomers Award because it is your first time at that level. And the idea is to encourage you to keep coming back and having a go, because we really want to support you and encourage you, and it is such a wonderful, fun day. It will be presented at the end of the day to our highest placed teams, first to third, who meet the criteria above. As far as I know, you get to go and stand on the podium, which will be very exciting. I've always wanted to stand on there, so I imagine that everybody does.
Thanks, Meg. That's really good. So now, class of 2026. So now, if your name appears in the junior or senior, you are a newcomer this year at the championships at this level. So is anybody here that thinks they might be a newcomer at this level? Type in the box. We don't include the area teams in the Newcomers Award. We only include the but if you then qualify the next year as a team, your team would be included in the Newcomers the next year. So if you are an area team, you won't be included, but you will be able to be included in the next year. So with the goal that hopefully you could inspire other members in your branch to sort of come forward and train with you for that level. So we've got Wellington in the seniors. Anybody else? Yes, we've got a few. Grove, yeah, so there's another one that's here tonight. So well done. In terms of how many people have qualified, in the juniors this year, we have had a record number of qualifications. We have gone over what we would say was our goal. Our goal is 44 teams at the championships, and we have qualified 46 teams. So they are direct qualifying teams at 46. And in the seniors, we have qualified 36 teams. So it's our largest qualification to date. So we're going to have to do a little bit of squashing in there to get you all here. And so it's very exciting. So communication, the championships is a large venue, and one of the easiest ways for us to communicate with you is via the WhatsApp group. There will be a link to the WhatsApp group sent out to you nearer the time. We also have a horsemanship Facebook page where we will put information on in the run up to the championships. So if you're not a member of our horsemanship Facebook page, do join that with the QR code there, because we do share a lot more than you do on the main website. So that would be great. The results will be going live, and they will be on Pony Club results. So all of your timetables, so where you are drawn, what the timings will be, and all information linked to the championships will go on to Pony Club results. So in the run up to the championships, we will put stuff on there if we want notifications. So do look you know, on there. When it comes to the say the newcomers awards, we will have a column where the newcomers can see if they're in the top 3. So you will know whether you were in the top 3 prior to the prize giving. The score sheets that are filled in by the assessors, they will be available to be collected after the last session. The sessions that have run earlier in the day will be available as the final session is running up in the prize giving tent. And then the last session can be collected from the stable area at the scorers, or we will then take them up to the prize giving area so that you can check your check the maths on them. We will then give a half an hour, I think it's half an hour, 20 minutes for you to check, and then hopefully if everything's good, the prize giving will start, with the goal to the prize giving to be within around 45 minutes after the end of the session, depending on how quickly we can get through the sort of last final scores. Everybody who's in the top 15 is expected to be at the prize giving dressed in competition attire, and that will be held in the prize giving tent near the arenas. So we go on to entering and reasonable adjustment. The entries will be made from the 17th of July. So entries open 17th of July. Entries close on the 5th of August. We won't take entries after the 5th of August. It's, you know, we have to be quite quick about organising running orders. So it's really important that you don't miss the entries. Often what happens is you have to enter a couple of days earlier if you want your names to be on the hoodies. So there's merch that you can buy, and all your names will be on the jumpers and polo shirts. And generally there will be a date, and it's normally comes out about 4 or 5 days earlier than the closing date. So reasonable adjustments. Some members may need reasonable adjustments of some sorts, and these have to be in a fortnight before. If you have got a team that is competing and you need a reasonable adjustment, you need to submit a new one. You can't expect that the one that was submitted at the area to be tracked back to your team now, because we have so many, we have something like about 600 teams in total competing over the whole country. So it's really important that you submit your reasonable adjustment to Emma in the Pony Club office under the address there. If you're unsure about reasonable adjustment, she can support you and help you. But coming on the day and telling me a member needs an adjustment is very difficult for us then to be able to deal with if you tell me like 5 minutes before we start. The rules say a fortnight, so do please reach out to us if you need some help with this. And then the competing in other disciplines. This is really important. If you are here and you are doing other areas and you qualify, when you enter, you need to put on both the entries what you are also qualified for and on what day. It's really important that they are declared prior to the timetables going out. Once we put the timetables out, it's very difficult for us to change things, but we can accommodate most things. And because we're running all day, we have a lot of flexibility for members to compete in many disciplines and our discipline, but you must make sure it's on your entry, and even possibly email Emma so she can make a record of it. It's far better that you tell us twice than not at all. So
I was just going to say, often people put them in the notes of their entries and they can get missed. So
yeah.
It would be best if you emailed me directly with the Horse and Pony Care email, just so
that we
can
can
be 100% sure you won't be rushing around or be stressed.
Yeah, thank you. So that's great. So if anybody has qualified, and if you have, well done. Or if you're still, I know there's quite a few areas already been. So okay, so I think, are we going back to Abby to what to expect? I think we are.
Yes, it's my turn. So what to expect, we wanted to kind of give you some practical points to help keep your day nice and calm. So starting with your arrival, make sure you arrive in plenty of time to get settled, find your bearings, have a wee look round. I like to spend a bit of time in the fan zone before, particularly going to see Blue Cross, because they usually have some good information and good kind of games and things to get your head ready before you go down to the competition. And the distance to the competition, we are about a 10-minute walk from the main championships, and that's about an average of 10 minutes. Some people take a little bit less, some people take a little bit more. There are toilets available at the Horse and Pony Care area, so don't worry. If you're in the middle of the competition and got to go, you don't have to run all the way back up to main championships. But you do need to factor that 10-minute walk into your day. There are buggies available from 7:30 in the morning on competition days, and they pick you up just by the food stands, so quite central. And if you don't see a buggy, just wait, and hopefully one of them will appear. But you're not guaranteed a buggy because spaces are limited. So plan not to get one. Plan that 10-minute walk in. And actually, I quite like it because it helps calm me down, having a nice walk to the competition, get your head in the game. And if you do need a buggy for any reason, like a medical reason, let us know in advance. Let Emma know, she'll sort it out for you. That Horse and Pony Care email. Pop on to the next slide, which is all about what have we got on offer at championships. So we've got volunteering opportunities, not just for members, it's also for parents, guardians, all family, friends, whatever. And it wouldn't be possible without our team of volunteers. So you can scan that QR code and have a look, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. We've got bun runs, we've got helping Horse and Pony Care. There's all sorts of jobs available. And if you're aged 13 to 25, you can sign up for your Yella awards to earn hours. So your bronze, silver or gold awards. There's more information on the volunteering site about how it can help towards your silver award as well. Pony Club merchandise and shopping. There's official Pony Club merchandise from Beware there, as well as other stands like Barrier Animal Health, Denji, Pony Magazine, and there's lots and lots more. So it's nice to spend some time having a wee walk round. And the stands can be found in the fan zone, or they can be found in the stabling area. So stands like Denji, who are doing a weighbridge, they are found in the stabling area. A lot of people do stay on site, but some people do stay away in nearby bed and breakfasts or hotels. But the way that you are camping with your area. So it's very easy to find your friends or your friends from other areas and have a wee mix. It is really, really nice. And our evening entertainment, we've got evening parties as well as themed parties on Tuesday the 18th and Thursday the 20th, as well as the Pony Club Centre sleepover, which is on Wednesday the 19th, and entries close on August the 2nd. But I'm going to hand you over to Amelia to tell you a little bit more about the Pony Club Centre sleepover.
Yeah, so the centre sleepover actually is on the Tuesday night. So the centre sleepover is called the Great Big Centre Sleepover. So you can come, there's a camping field for all the centre members. You book in and there is various activities and badges and things that you'll be able to achieve on that afternoon. And then you then can think you have some food, or you can go to the party. So it's a really, really good afternoon, evening with the sleepover. And then next morning you get up, you can start it with the fun run first thing in the morning if you'd like that. Race Marcus and Di. And then the whole day is sort of the centre day. There's lots of activities going on that Wednesday. There's the fan zone, there's course walks, there's people coming in to talk to you, sort of special guests, and there's lots and lots of things. There's an opportunity to volunteer within that centres day. So that's a whole sort of, a few days. So if you were like a centre member and you fancied a few days away at the Pony Club Championships, you really could come Tuesday. And if you were competing on the Friday, you could have a couple of days, you could volunteer, you could get some yellow hours, you could have a party, you could have 2 parties. It's a great day out, so a great week away. You can camp more than one day, so any competitors could camp. That's just they camp on the main site in your areas, so which is separate from the centre day camping. So there's a timetable of what's going to go on at the championships, and you can see we're all down here at the bottom in the sort of grey colour. We're starting with the Home International. Some of you might be coming to the Home International. All the young members, the youth members here are both competing on the Home International. They've been picked for teams. They're all competing for England or Scotland, and you're also all competing on Senior Day as well. So they've all managed to qualify, so that was very good. So we're now going to pop on and go on to advice from the senior members. So I don't know whether Abby looks like she might have frozen. Have you frozen, Abby? So we have got our senior members here, and what we'll do is we'll go through a little bit and we'll have a bit of a chat through your advice. So we'll start with Lily, and Lily can give us some advice on preparation from yourself.
So my advice more relates to preparing for your answers when you're actually in down by the stables in your stations. So when you're being questioned, just take your time and don't rush into answering immediately, because it will give you more time to logically think of your answer. Even if it's just an extra couple of seconds, it just gives you a bit of time to gather your thoughts, so you don't just like word vomit and it all comes out in a bit of a jumbled mess.
Cool, so that's great. So Ellie Mae, do you want to give me some advice for the members?
So my advice is about the training beforehand. So I've said have someone ask you some of the sample questions from the resource hub, and this helps you understand the standard the questions will be, and they'll be set during the Pony Club Championships. And again, it gives you a chance to practice, what you're going to say for each question.
Cool. And then Abby, if you take over, you can do yours and then carry on.
So my top tip is to break down your training into stations and actually move around them. So treating each of them as a round, you don't know what's going to come up next, only your team trainer knows that. And that just helps you prepare for actually moving around, switching between different topics quickly at the competition. If you're used to it, it makes it so much easier once you're there. Olivia's, she was in our mini section, so she's not here just now, but she said to practice working as a team and do practical tasks like putting on the rug. So you know how to tackle them on competition day, you know how to do it, and it's second nature. Pass to Meg to do hers.
Hello. So my advice is to practice talking to people. You're going to be face to face with somebody that you might not have met before, and you need to try and get as comfortable as possible saying something to them, because ultimately they are asking you questions and they want to see what you know. So you might be a little bit uncomfortable with it, but practice. You might not know exactly what they're asking, but you definitely can't say nothing. Okay, so think about what you might know that's related to that question. If they've asked you about health, think about it, carefully consider it, and then if you're not 100% sure, say something. Don't say nothing. Do you want me to do Ella's?
Yeah, go on
If
then.
you'd like to.
So advice from Ella is that once you have a good knowledge of the topics, practice answering under just a little bit of time pressure. So like Lily said, you're not just sort of word vomiting and talking for hours. You can do it in a really concise time. If you're in a team, you've all got to be able to have something to say. And it makes it a bit more relaxed on the day when you're used to completing tasks and answering those questions quickly. I think that's very good advice.
Absolutely. So that was our preparation advice, but we also decided to give you some real life advice. We've all competed at championships quite a few times, and we'd like you to learn from things that we have done and also learn from some of our mistakes. So my top bit of real life advice is bring a spare pair of jodhpurs in case you get mud or boot polish on them. You don't want to have to rush back to the hotel and get another pair like I had to. I had a big black stain on my knee from sitting with my legs crossed with not actually taking the boot polish off properly, and I had to run back and get another pair. Pass over to Lily.
Yeah, so my real life advice is just make sure you know what time you need to be at the stables. Obviously, as you said, it is a good 10-minute walk, and even though there's buggies going down there, if you do miss the buggy or it's full and you've got to run down there, it isn't very fun, as I have experienced.
My real life advice was to be careful not to stand too close to lorry doors. You never know when someone is going to pour out the rest of their coffee and it may end up all over you when you're in full competition gear. I was stood outside our lorry, literally about to go down to stables, and my mum decided that she needed to top her coffee cup, so she emptied out the rest of hers and it went all over me from head to toe in my white jodhpurs.
On a similar line, Olivia warned us to be very careful near the portaloos. Be very careful when you're flushing them, because that blue liquid will stain your jodhpurs. And she was flushing the toilet and the blue liquid got all over her blue jodhpurs and she had to go to a presentation. So the three of us wouldn't have done very well in the turnout award. Meg, I think yours leads into that one quite nicely as well.
Absolutely, I would not do well in this one either. My real life advice is clean your teeth before you put on your tie, your stock, your jumper. I'm always competing in the morning, which makes this one easier, but you don't want to end it with toothpaste all down you. And if you're in the afternoon, be careful when eating things with like ketchup or brown sauce, because inevitably you will end up with it on you.
Yeah. Thankfully, Ella's bit of advice is not about getting anything spilt on your jodhpurs. She told us to plan your day to allow plenty of time to experience the rest of championships. There's lots of great shopping, exciting competitions, and a very good food court. She has recommended the milkshakes. She said they're very, very good. So I'll be popping down to get one. Don't know about the rest of you. Now for Amelia's top tips.
Okay, so my top tips. So first of all, you have all done so well to qualify. You should be incredibly proud of your achievements. We have had a raise in entries at all the area competitions. So for you to qualify is amazing. So well done. Before you start the competition, my piece of advice would be to have a few practice questions before you start. So get into the swing of it, get your team all answering questions so that you're not all answering over each other. You get sort of in the feel of just getting together. Just before you go in, that's quite a good way, because sometimes people say, oh, I really struggled at the very beginning and then we got going. So think about how you could just get yourself ready before you go in. When you're picking pieces of equipment up, you'll often be told to pick up a piece of equipment and then talk about it. Make sure that your youngest member or your least experienced member is able to pick up first, if you're allowed to pick up in any order. Don't leave it so that the youngest one ends up with what could be a much more difficult piece of equipment and they're not sure. So always kind of allow them to go, do you know which one you'd like? You know about it, and then they pick it up. If you're unsure about how to answer the question, sort of try and think about the question, how it would be with a pony. So it's a real life interaction with that pony or that piece of equipment, and try and think about that. And that will hopefully start to get you talking about the information, and then you start chatting, and then it sort of, your answer comes. So, and then don't forget, my challenge this year would be to get as many senior members to bring water bottles down to the stables. The minis are brilliant. They all bring them. The juniors are relatively good. The seniors are incredibly poor at remembering their drinks bottles. It's really good for the environment if we don't have to use throwaway mugs. And so it'd be great if you just brought your bottle. We can provide you with drink, don't worry. We've got all sorts of squash and water, and we also have lots of biscuits. So but make sure you bring your bottle. And if you have any questions tonight, before the championships, at the championships, we will be on site probably Abby's definitely going to be on site on Tuesday, so will Emma. I possibly will be there Tuesday, and we'll be there all the way through. Come and ask any questions, or if you need any help or advice. And if there's anybody here that's never done it before, don't be afraid to ask other teams. They will help you. So if you've got anything that you need. So, it's really exciting. We're getting excited now just doing this webinar that the championships is only, Emma said it was 40 something days away to the start of the first week. 44?
Yeah, so it's 44 days away until the first day when the mountain triathlon starts.
Yeah. So very exciting. So with that in mind, let's have a little look at the next slide, which just gives you a reminder that it is a championships for more than just horse and pony care. And there's lots going on. There's lots to watch. You might be in an early session and you've got to wait for a prize giving. Go and enjoy your day. Go and offer to volunteer, pole pick, really sort of gain an experience. Go and walk the cross-country course. I remember going to the Pony Club Championships at about 10 and saying, I want to go to the Pony Club Championships. And I think I went my first time at 14. So, so there we go. So we're going to hand over to Abby now.
Yes, so hopefully my connection holds up. We're going to play some Kahoot now to just consolidate the knowledge, make sure everyone's thinking on the same lines. So what you can do is you either go to kahoot.it in your web browser, so whether that's Safari, Google, Bing, whatever, and you put in that game pin, or you scan the QR code. Now you can either put in your branch with your initials or your centre, or just the branch or centre, or just your name. It's okay as long as you recognise your name on the screen. If you're struggling to join, I think Emma's popped in a wee guide there just so you can see how to join us. And it should be a wee bit of fun. Some of you will have done this over the winter with us. Lots coming in. I saw Megan and thought Meg was getting to a play in this. Got Grafton, Dalkey.
I'm very competitive.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I did consider playing for 2 seconds and I've had to hold myself back.
I did. I wanted to see if I could win.
Nah.
I'd quite like to win, but I'm not going to play.
I made this, so I'd be embarrassed if I didn't win.
Yeah.
Abby, would you answer before you read the question out, though?
Absolutely. No, I'm joking. How many have we got in? 28. Any more for any more, or will we get started? Yeah, I think let's get started. And you can still join. The code will be at the bottom. I'll pop it in the chat as well. 515228. So the code's in the chat if anyone has not managed to get it. I think let's get started. Oh, loads of them popping in now. Wow. So let's go. So those of you that have been to the Kahoot sessions before will know my favourite question to start with. And that's what we're starting with again today. Drop your pin. What area are you from? So drag and drop the pin, pop it in the area, and then hit submit. I think the last session we were missing area 1. Disappointing. Area 17, 13, 15 and 16. So interesting to see if we have any of you guys here just now. Oh, we've got lots of area 1s. No 17s. What a good spread though, that's good.
Good spread. Well done, one. Somebody's right up the top.
Yep, I think that's one of our Orcadians. Orkney. Fabulous. We'll pop on to our next one. So we get into the proper questions now. Where is Pony Club Championships held? And you might recognise the person in the middle. She was doing some presenting today, I think. That's Ellie May. Is it held at Stoneleigh Park, Lowlands Equestrian Centre, Off Church Bury, or Horse of the Year Show? Where is Champs held? Yes, we are at Off Church Bury. Lowlands Equestrian Centre is where headquarters is. Hop on to the next one. What day is the junior competition? Is it Wednesday the 19th, Thursday the 20th, Friday the 21st, or Saturday the 22nd? Very fast answers there. Oh my goodness. Yes, so the juniors are on the Friday. So it's Home International and the UK versus International Horsemanship on the Wednesday. Minis on the Thursday, juniors on the Friday, seniors on the Saturday. On to the next one. Chloe's up at the top, Barlow climbing. On to the next one. Rose is the highest climber, up 13 places. What day is the senior competition? I just told you. Wednesday the 19th, Thursday the 20th, Friday the 21st, or Saturday the 22nd? What day is the seniors? Yes, seniors are on Saturday the 22nd. On to the next one. Barlow climbing very quickly there. True or false? Pony Club resources will help direct your training. True or false? These are always very quickly answered questions. Yes, true, they will help direct your training. Really recommend you use them. I use them all the time. Next one. Has that changed our leaderboard? Ooh. Which of these tests is not included in the junior level of the competition? The D, the D+, C, or C+? Not included in the junior competition. Yep, doesn't include the D, so it includes the D+, C, and C+. On to the next one. Emma climbing to the top spot there. Shock horror. Which of these tests is not included in the senior competition? So not in the senior. The C+, the B, the B+, or the AH? Which of these tests is not included in the seniors? Again, very fast answers. Yeah, so the B+ isn't included. So it's the care sections of the C+, B, and AH is what it says. Pop on to the next one. That was one that caught a few people out. On to the next one. Oh, it's changed our leaderboard. Is that graphed at the top now? Yep. Which of these topics may be covered at championships? So we're thinking about the badges. Nutrition, building show jumps, sequence of footfalls, human first aid. So which of those topics might be covered? Again, very fast answers coming in. Yes, nutrition. If you scroll down to the bottom of the horsemanship website, or the horsemanship page on the website, you will come to a bit that says achievement badges related to horsemanship, and it says yes or no next to all the badges, and that will help you direct your learning. Grafton's still at the top. Which of these topics may be covered at championships, so more of our badges? Understanding training, fire safety, how to be lunged, safeguarding. So which of these topics may be covered at championships? Yes, fire safety might come up. It does say on the thing on the website, fire safety, yes, in a safety round. So it could pop up. Pop on to the next one. That was another tricky question. What's changed our leaderboard? Dalkeith at the top. Barlow in second, Grafton in third. How many rounds are in the horse and pony care competition? 8, 10, 12, or 15? That was, again, fast answers. 31 answers in less than 10 seconds. Amazing. Any more for any more? Yes, there will be 10. On to the next one. Rose is making a comeback with 3 in a row. Dalkeith holding on at the top. True or false, there is only one session of competition per day. True or false? Yeah, false. There are multiple sessions per day. I don't know off the top of my head for juniors and seniors, but I think minis we had 5. So there will be multiple. We'll go on to the next one. It's not changed our scoreboard much. Which of these is not permitted at the competition? Branch or centre polo shirts, half chaps with tassels, wristwatches, or jackets and gilets? Which of them is not permitted at the competition? Yeah, you're not allowed half chaps with tassels or fringes, but you can wear half chaps as long as they don't have those. It's not changed our leaderboard that much. True or false? To score highly in the turnout section, team members must be in matching outfits. True or false? Yeah, false. You don't have to be matching. You just have to be tidy and workmanlike. No ketchup or boot polish or mud or fluid from the portaloo on your jodhpurs. Barlow climbing there. On to the next one. What will be the main method of communication at champs? Will it be WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, or signposts? The main method of communication. Yep, it'll be the WhatsApp group. So once that's been made, you'll find it on the Horsemanship Facebook as well as main Pony Club Facebook. We'll make sure we share it. On to the next one. Badsworth climbing, Bramham Moor climbing as well. Where will results be shared? Facebook, WhatsApp, eventing scores, or Pony Club results? Yes, it'll be shared on Pony Club results so you can track your scores there. To the next one. CVS has the highest answer streak of 8. Barlow at the top now. True or false? Members should be dressed in competition attire for prize giving. No prizes for guessing what country we have in the picture there. True, you should be in your competition attire with your hats and your boots and everything. On to the next one. Barlow still at the top with a streak of 9. Quiz. How far of a walk are the competition stables from the main championships area on average? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 20 minutes? How far is the walk on average? Yep, on average it's about 10 minutes, but I would give yourself a little bit longer. Pop on to the next one. It's not changed the leaderboard that much. Bram and Badsworth moving up. True or false, you're guaranteed a space on a buggy to take you to the competition area. True or false? These answers always come in really quickly. Yep, false. You are not guaranteed. So if you catch one, you're lucky, but make sure you have that 10 minutes factored in. Now, we want to see what are you most excited about for championships. So whatever you're most excited about, we had lots of answers from the minis. If you're not in the Kahoot, feel free to pop them in the chat. But let's see what we come up with. Experience is a good one. Champs is always a great experience. Show jumping. Partying. That's always a good one. Good fun. Community. Again, these are all brilliant. Any more? Let's see what our word cloud creates. There we go. The sleepover. It's good. What does our big one in the middle say? Fun, seeing everything, being with your team, memories. Most people saying they're most excited for competing. That's fabulous. Working with ponies and friends. Amazing. Meeting Amelia. You get a shout out, Amelia.
Whoever's written that needs to come and see me.
I'm really jealous.
You need to come meet amazing Emma as well.
It was super Emma earlier. I think
Amazing Emma.
I sound like a superhero.
Yeah, that's great.
You are a superhero.
Thanks, Queen.
Let's see what our... With 15 out of 17, we had Badsworth. Well done. 16 out of 17 was Dalkeith Anna. And with 16 out of 17, but slightly faster on the answers, was Barlow. So really well done, and well done to everybody who competed in that Kahoot. It's good fun. Can't wait to see you at championships.
Yeah, well done. So, well done, everybody. It's been a great night. Thank you to the whole team that has put this on over the 2 sessions. So a big thank you to Emma for coordinating this in Pony Club office, for Elizabeth for doing technology, Abby for leading the youth representatives, our 3 girls, which is Lily, Meg and Ellie May, who did the second one, and there was Olivia, and Ella did the first one. And thank you, Abby. And Kerry, thank you, Kerry, from the Blue Cross. It was lovely to have you here, and I hope you enjoyed your night. We've had a lovely time. If anybody's got any questions that they would like to ask, then fire away in the chat box or reach out to Emma. If not, have an amazing time. Be incredibly proud that you have qualified, and we're very excited to see you. The experience day in
reference to the prize, I think.
Yes. So if you win, then we give you information about the experience days, and then Emma supports you in finding
a day that suits you.
Yeah, the day that suits you. Everyone that's won one so far has done something different. So Abby won one a few years ago, didn't you? Ellie May won one
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And Abby, you did more. What did you do for your experience day?
We did everything. We did bridal fitting, saddle fitting, and leather work all in 2 days.
Right. And then Ellie May, they did, I think, all leather work with Godfrey.
They made
I really want
things.
to go and do that. So I want someone to invite me to do that when they win.
And if you want me to bring me to look after Amelia, that would be great.
The other thing I'd quite like to do, Kerry, is I'd quite like to go around the Blue Cross at it's because I'm not very far from your I feel
Oh, you
like
can definitely do that, Amelia. I'd be more than
I-
happy to take you around.
I'd like a day, I'd like a, not a day trip, but I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, maybe we can do it. I don't know, I might message you. Are you based there or are you based somewhere else?
I'm based at Birthford, Oxfordshire.
Right,
That
okay.
one. But Ralston isn't far from me either, so it depends which one's closer for you.
Ralston's only about,
Ralston's closer.
yes. I
There's
live
just
near
a,
Ashby.
Okay.
there's
Is
just a few
Ralston near-
questions in the chat.
Oh, go on then, yes.
So to be on the newcomers list, is it for the first time it's in that section in 5 years or overall at the Horse and Pony Care Championships?
It's at that level.
Yeah.
Yes, at that
And
level.
then
If you think we've missed you off the list, then say.
It's not you as an individual, it's your
It's your
branch
it's
or
your
centre.
team. It's not the member, it's the team, because we're not able to track the members as in them their names. So it's if your team has never been in the last 5 years.
And then just one regarding entries. For entries, if you are in a centre, does your coach enter you, or do you have to do it yourself if you want the merch?
The centre needs to enter you, so you need to make sure that the centre enters your team in
Before the
time so they don't miss the hoodie cutoff. We do send multiple reminders because we get really like upset if you get missed off that, because we try really hard. Pembroke, we've missed you, have we? Let's have a little look. Are you area 18?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were, and that was that seniors then? I just picked up on that. Hold on, I just spotted
I
you.
think it was
Juniors.
Juniors. Okay, we'll have a look at that.
They actually entered in 2021.
Okay, so Pembroke. Okay, yes.
So not quite in the newcomers.
No. Cool. Right.